Ninth day, Sai Ram. We are concluding such a lovely chapters with Siddhidatri. Uh, Siddhidatri means uh, giver of mystical powers. Ma Siddhidatri has the power to bestow in the materialistic and spiritual path as well. So I think she's, worshipping her is much easier, right, for materialistic people and even spiritual people. So it's like two in one. Now, the significance of her connection to Lord Shiva is profound as she embodies the Ardhanarishvara form of the deity. She is also called the Ardhanarishvara. Ardha means half, Nari means female, and Ishwar means Shiva. She is seen seated on a blue lotus on top of a lion. She has 4 hands and each one has a club, a chakra, a lotus and a shankar or conch. Ma Siddhidatri is surrounded by Gandharvas like Yakshas, Siddhas, Asuras and Devatas, all praying in the form of praying to Lord Siddhidatri as a obeisance to goddess Siddhidatri. They are seen like that. Okay, they are seen praying to her. That's what they mean. And devotees who pray to her for invoking the spiritual and the worldly desires are found. So, devotees can invoke materialistic and worldly desires through her. So now, yes, so Siddhidatri is over. And by the way, my husband has repaired this kuti remote, it fell off. See, it fell off the this thing, suddenly. This all slippery floors. I have to walk like this because I am not used to such floors. Anyway, I hope that I get a land very soon, and here, as I told you, powerless houses, powerless place, and you can't talk from this room, you can't talk from that room because it's all adjacent. All the rooms are, if I open my bedroom window, that's the backside bedroom. If I open the kitchen window, that is the other person's hall. So neither can you talk, neither can you sing, neither can you. So she has put me in a fix. Not to sing, not to do bhajans, not to take classes. So she has put me in such a, what do you call it? I call it a jail, where you don't even get fresh air. I called myself, oh, I'm stuck in a jail. So now, coming back to Siddhidatri. Here I have to talk about Meenakshi Mami, our favorite Meenakshi Mami. And Mami is no more now. And each time Mami called me, the conversation used to go for hours. And people on the other side must be thinking, what are they bluffing each other to each other? What are they talking for so long? But honestly speaking, she was taking me through the line of Gita, Bhagavad Gita, Kenopanishad. She's teaching me, she's telling me so many things. And I remember her, much before her, she passed away, I remember her telling, Radhika, I got a very good opportunity, நல்ல opportunity கிடைச்சிருக்கு. விஷ்ணு சகஸ்ரநாமத்தோடு ஒரு சகஸ்ரநாமத்தோடு அர்த்தம் சொல்லி சொல்றதுக்குள்ள opportunity கிடைச்சிருக்கு. I really appreciate her living, Even living in a family, she could manage to be spiritual also. That is very important in life. She managed to be in spiritual line also. And she never failed her duties. She never ever failed her duties. At that age also, she used to get up at 4 o'clock, finish all her work, and then she'll go for classes. And her classes did not affect anybody in the house. That is very, very important, She was on her own. She can take an order. I still remember my Grahapravesham, that house, Grahapravesham in Bangalore. It was a very remote area, and I never knew how Mami is going to manage to come. But she managed to come all by herself in an auto from Shivajinagar. Can you believe? So that is what say, where there's a will, there's a way. And now, I really dedicate this Siddhidatri to her, this chapter to her, because we were only talking about spiritual aspects. And of course, little bit of Laukika things, that is different. And the Padma Vachin, in the Padma Vachin. Me, a Mami or Lalita Mami or nobody will be very nice, that everybody says. And Meenakshi Mami's Mysore Pak will be so good. So we talk like that, So I still remember all those younger days with Srimati and my two elder brothers and myself and Srimati in the same house. I can say we grew up together for some years, for few years. After that, they went, they found their house and they went. But still, that memories, and it did not stop there. That relationship did not stop there. They kept coming because they knew Amma will always have lot of work, so Mommy will come all the way from Chale Tervu and come and bring everything. Mommy, that I have brought this, I have brought that. She'll say. So it was like that. That was a relationship which I don't think this generation with generation will ever understand that kind of relationship. This generation, what they feel is only if you go for a get together, only if you go and keep on seeing somebody, that shows the relationship. No, we were not like that. We are still not like that. We are, we hardly see each other. For years, we don't see each other. But we'll be in contact through the phone, and we are much more connected to each other than seeing personally. For us, seeing us personally is only seeing the person. But when you're talking to somebody, we are talking for hours together to understand each other. So it's very nice, loving person. And so what I mean to say is, I remember she used to ask me several times, "Onekku message kadikkirathu?" Like when Mama was admitted to hospital, Swami had already told me that, Meenakshi Mami at Mama admit ஆயிருக்கார் hospital, Mama போயிடுவார், Mama சீக்கிரம் போயிடுவார், like that. So it is not a good news to go and convey somebody, right? But I have to keep to certain messages. I keep to myself. Like Swami says, don't ever say these messages to people. You write it down in the diary. So I wrote it down, and then once when Mommy called her, so before Mommy could tell something, I said, "Mommy, Mama hospital irkar liya." Then she, "Unakku eppadi theriyum?" I said, "Swami sonnar." So that is when she used to ask me, "Unakku eppadi indha message kadikkum?" Even now there are plenty of people who ask me, "How do you get such messages?" I don't know. How can I tell them how I get these messages? How can I tell them how I get these messages? It cannot be described. It cannot be described. It has to be felt. Sorry, I am meddling with my sari because it's sweating. I can't take the sweat here. You know why I'm sitting on the steps here? Because I get a little bit of breeze from the terrace. A horrible place, I tell you. I don't know. Maybe because we stayed in Bangalore and we are so much used to that open air. Wherever we stayed, my husband made a point that we stayed in huge houses with lot of air circulation. And he being an asthmatic patient, he always wanted some airy place where he get fresh air, not the fan or cooler like that. He always wanted fresh air. And my daughter also, she hardly comes here. She says, twice, thrice she came, she said she was desperate. She said, "I'm going. I can't stay here. What, you can't even open the front door? Somebody's walking on the road. You open the side window, somebody's walking." It is not, you don't have privacy to open your windows and sit and news. You can't even talk here. Some personal private matters, official matters on, you cannot even talk. So very tough. And if some international call is coming, poor thing, she'll find very difficult, because not a sound only when I ring the bell and I sing, I am disturbing everybody. But when all the others talk loudly for 10:30 and 11:30, it doesn't matter. There's always there, jealousy, nothing else, jealousy. So anyway, let us come back to the topic of Siddhidatri. So here I'm talking about materialistic and spiritual. My Amma was, see, it is not materialistic world, I will not say. Amma was not in a materialistic world. Grihastha, she was a Grihani. So along with the Grihani, being a Grihani also, she was a spiritual path. And I can say she spent more time on spirituality than her family affairs, because family affairs only cooking, sweeping, swabbing, but she always wanted to read good books, and she never wasted time. Every opportunity she gets to read good books, spiritual books, she used to read. And the last book I thought, I remember was what she was reading was my Amma, Devathin Kural, and Puja Vidhanam, all those things. So here I really dedicate this vlog to Meenakshi Mami, because I will not say those who all departed and gone, leaving the body. I'm not saying I miss them, because it's not correct to say I miss them, because everybody has to perish, including mine. Everybody has to perish to be born again somewhere. So they're born, definitely they're born somewhere, and they'll be happy when we talk about them, good things about them. They'll be happy. And when we grieve or something, they'll feel bad. That's the reason they say arade. Arade. Like that they say. So here also I again think of I give all my salutations to my Karamane Ammai, Avada Patti, my Amma, and my father's Amma Lakshmi Patti, and my Amma, who was very industrious. And of course to my mother-in-law, I must say, my mother-in-law. What I learned from my mother-in-law was, like to cook without even spilling a drop. This is what I learned. I did not stay with her for long. So, but still, what a person who wants to grasp something, there's no need for you to go and live with somebody. You can grasp from them within seconds. So I have seen her make, and she is the one who taught me to make laddu. But of course, ellam over the phone, not over the phone. Landline. Amma ipdi pannitama, amma apdi pannitama. Adu panniya, adu panniya, like that. And even for jangri making, she taught me over the phone. So everybody used to get, my in-law said everybody used to get so surprised, so it was so shocking for them to see a 22-year-old girl who just got married and came, preparing all the dishes for Diwali and Kartika Puri and Tengulan and Adai, and so they were all, before they could come and give me, I will go and give them Rajamami, Mama, and Sabi Mama used to like my Kartika Puri so much. And Mami used to say, Rajamami used to say, Mama wait pannirupar Radhika appa varuval paru adunattu vanu udutinde na manisharu kattinu appa varuval paru Karthika poi kondu varuval paru moonu irukkum Radhika pandra Karthika neengal panna navuthu poidudhe, like that used to say everybody. So I just remember all these people who are all in spiritual line, though in their family duties. So that is how we have to come out of this final what do you call it? The goal should be spirituality, and spirituality in the right sense. Spirituality is not the being of to show off. Inniki na andha puja panninen, indha puja panninen, andha kovilukku ponen, andha abhishekam panninen, andha archana panninen, and at last the out will say ellam pannittu swami enakku onnume tharala. This is what last, after telling anga pone, andha kovilukku pone, indha kovilukku pone, anga poi thenga vechen, inge poi maanga vechen, anga adha panne, inge poi idha panninen, இவ்வளோ பண்ணிட்டு சுவாமி எனக்கு ஒன்றுமே தரல. Oh my God. So if God has given you to eat 3 times, healthy hands, healthy legs, healthy ears, healthy eyes, healthy nose, everything, and everything is working, still you complain God has not given you anything. So what is the point in going to temple? That's the reason I tell them, no, Nityanushtanam. First of all, learn the habit of doing Nityanushtanam. I always tell people, everybody get up at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock to catch the flight, because the flight will go. And for the train and for the bus. But the main thing called the journey of life is a huge bus in which you have to be spiritually inclined, you have to be family inclined, you have to do all your duties. But for that, the time management is very important. If only because I was taught to get up at 4 o'clock for my studies. When I was at Trivandrum, Amma used to wake me up at 4 o'clock. That became a habit. When I came to Bangalore as a newly married girl, I saw my mother-in-law getting up at 4 o'clock. I used to get up along with her. And after that, when they all left back to Delhi, I was alone managing things. And only my husband is always on tours, 28 days. 2 days he come home. What do? I'm getting bored. So he said, don't sit at home, go and learn tailoring. Even though I knew tailoring, I went all the way to learn tailoring at that age. I didn't want to waste the time. Then I conceived Dhanya. Then after the 2 children were born, still I went for the tailoring classes. So what I mean to say is, we're all celebrating Saraswati Puja. My mother always says, சரஸ்வதி இன்னும் கையில் புஸ்தகத்தை வச்சு உட்காந்து படிக்க முடியலைன்னுட்டு, அதுக்காக நீங்கள்லாம் படித்து முடிச்சுட்டேன்னு சொல்கிறீங்களே, இதெல்லாம் என்னது இது? She used to ask me, true. Till we die, we are learning in our life. And that should be for good, not for bad. So, dedicating, as I told you, I'm dedicating this all to all these ladies whom I know and whom I don't know. And salutes to all the women power. I always keep in touch with people who are entrepreneurs, who want to come up in their life without depending on the husband or the children. I always appreciate that. So now I have to, whenever I go to Bangalore, I want to take a vlog on one. I like her name, but she's 72-year-old, Karnataka, in Sri Ramapuram, and Ahalya madam. At the age of 72, she is doing catering and sweet making and savory making and running her life, running her family, So this is called women power. It is not to call up somebody and say, hello, how are you? Oh, happy Women's Day. What did you achieve as being a woman? What did you achieve? You got married, you got 2 children, your husband is earning, or you're going for a small work, you get some money, that's all, is it? That is achievement? That is not an achievement, that is worldly thing. That's what she says, Siddhidatri. You are into worldly, you want to be only worldly, go on worldly. But remember, that worldly thing is only hardship, whereas spirituality is not hardship. Yes, to get into the spiritual mode, you have to sacrifice non-vegetarian, alcohol, cigarette, untimely sleeping, sleeping up to 6 o'clock, sleeping up to 7:30. You can never be in spiritual life. Everything has got a discipline. If there's no discipline, no life. With that note, let us see again after a few days, because now I have to take a lot of complete, I will not say the rest, I have to take a break, because now I have to start preparing for my Diwali sweets. I have to start doing that. So in this kitchen I have to do everything. So let us celebrate womanhood, and I again salute all the ladies who, irrespective of their age, doing something to earn money as just pocket money. Even though they're well off, also still ladies are doing. They're well off, well settled, still they're doing. Because like my tata and party always say, இந்த 10 விரல் ஓடின்னு இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் பண்ண, இந்த 10 விரல் என்னைக்கு நிற்கிறதோ அப்போ நாவல் நிற்கலாம். That is true. That is called the spiritual aspect of life. So thank you so much for tolerating me for these 9 days. And as I told you, Swami had already told me when I started this channel, this is Swami's channel, Swami told me no editing in between. If it is a mistake, let that mistake be there. Correct it and talk. You are not editing, speaking and editing and putting, no. It should be not natural. So that is how it is. And yesterday I found it very difficult to shoot because I didn't have the remote. Today my husband morning he repaired and gave. He said, be careful not to drop it. See, at 75, he's instructing me, be careful not to drop it again. This is what I tell you. A husband should be like this, a wife should be like this. If both life is synchronized like this, there'll be no complaints in life. And the lady should be encouraged by the man should be encouraged by the lady. And if the man doesn't encourage the lady also, the lady should arise, go forth and conquer. Called, become an entrepreneur how much ever you want to, how much ever you can. Be an entrepreneur. Thank you, Saira.